everybody. We are here for another episode of Positivity, and we are delighted to be joined by Derek today. Hi, Derek.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, and whereabouts are you at the moment?
I'm currently in rural Berkshire, so out in the middle of the countryside, which has been quite nice over the last few weeks and months.
Oh, incredible. And your background suggests that you're in the office, but is it a virtual background?
There's a virtual background just to save me tidying up.
Yeah. I've seen something that people are getting very envious of Zoom backgrounds, so that looks a good alternative to my bland white background.
Well, it's also because this is part of an office refurbishment that we were approaching the end of just as lockdown was introduced, and so we haven't actually, well, we finally opened the front door on this office last week. So I felt I should at least make the most of it in virtual terms, even if we couldn't get into it in real life.
Yeah. So are people starting to return to the office with what you're doing?
Yeah, we've had a few people in the office all the way through. So we've got 4 offices in Newbury, Newbury, Thatcham, Maidenhead and London. And certainly in our Newbury and Maidenhead offices, we've had a handful of people all the way through. And that's still really the case at the moment. So we're just starting to plan for allowing people to come back a bit more, but we're not rushing anyone back at the moment because we're working quite effectively from home, to be honest.
And what is it that your organisation does? It'd be great to share with the listeners.
Yeah, we're solicitors, so we've got about 140 people, most of them in Newbury, but others spread across the other offices that I mentioned. So we do the full range of wills, conveyancing, quite complicated litigation, commercial work, family work. So we cover quite a wide range of services.
Yeah, wow. And how has it impacted you not being able to have face-to-face with either clients and colleagues as well over the last few months?
We had to adapt quite quickly, so we very quickly got everyone working from home, and that's worked pretty well. And I think because obviously all the clients knew exactly what was going on and were affected in the same way, I think most clients adapted quite quickly as well to the idea of doing everything by video and not being able to have face-to-face meetings. So there are some complications in terms of things like wills, where obviously you need to witness the will and the lots of formalities, but a lot of other stuff we've been able to do by email, by electronic signing, by video conferencing. So it's worked a lot better than probably we expected at the start.
Yeah, definitely, and adapted quickly. And how, in terms of your organisation itself, how's everyone's morale been and remaining positive during this very uncertain time? And I imagine with everything that you're doing, you're learning as you go as well, because everything is so new to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't expect that as solicitors we would have to become experts in epidemic planning and all those kinds of things which we've had to adapt to. I have to say, probably one of the most rewarding aspects of this whole scenario has been the way that our staff have reacted to the whole situation. We have had the most incredible support and positivity from the staff all the way through. And yeah, I think it's one of those things. Everybody has their good days and their bad days. There are days when they wouldn't want to see the inside of their home office or their kitchen table or whatever again. But the support that we've had from our staff is really what's made it possible for us to get through this the way that we have.
And being kind to yourselves as well, isn't it? I think it's allowed everyone to be more human with those that they work with. Is that something that you've found?
I think so. Interestingly, some of our teams, because we're spread across the 4 offices, we have had some feedback from some of the teams that actually they're getting to know people in the other offices better than they have done previously, because what we've tried to do is make sure that the teams are having weekly video meetings rather than just the monthly team meetings. So people are seeing more of each other, they're communicating a bit more in some ways. So it's been an interesting experience from that point of view. And we've tried to keep a lot of the social stuff going. So we always have drinks in the pub on the last Friday of every month. Well, we haven't been able to go to the pub, but we've been trying to do it over video, and we've had reasonable turnouts each time we've tried to do that. We've done, instead of our summer party, we did a kind of remote sports day thing, which
how did that work? How did the remote sports day work?
Well, it did work, which surprised me. But we had wheelbarrow races, egg and spoons races, all kinds of things just with people doing it in their own garden and somebody trying to work out who'd won. So it got a good reaction.
I might steal that idea, actually. That's brilliant.
Mm.
And sorry, you just picked your mug up as well. I forgot to ask at the beginning because we went straight into the chats. So this is Positivity, obviously. We ask everyone to have a cuppa. So have you got a cup of tea to hand? And if so,
I have.
What's your tea of choice?
Well, I do like an Earl Grey normally. I think one of the most surprising things of working at home is just how many cups it does actually involve. I'm trying now to reuse the same cups so I don't just end up with a kitchen full of cups at the end of the day.
Yeah. We had someone on last week. Do you have Earl Grey with milk or without milk?
With, but not very much.
Yes. Yeah, you're with me. I had a heated discussion with another guest, so glad to hear it.
I don't like milky tea.
No, that's good. So going back to working from home, you said that you're in rural community. How have you found life outside of work during the last few months, and has what you've done changed significantly, or have you found new things to do? How have you found it really?
It's been interesting in a bit because I live on my own, and quite a few people have said, "Oh, how are you coping with lockdown living on your own?" And I'm sure, you know, for some people living on their own, it has been very difficult. I've actually felt that my life probably hasn't changed as much as it has for people who are having to cope with homeschooling or having to cope with kind of being with their family 24 hours a day, which, you know, however much you like them, is not something you're used to. So in that sense, I've found it okay. It is nice now that it's relaxed a bit to be able to actually meet up with people in person a bit more. So going into the office or going to see friends. And actually I had a week off. I had a week's holiday a couple of weeks ago and spent some of the time meeting up with some of the younger members of our team, which meant that I'd seen more of them in the flesh whilst I was on holiday than I had done in the sort of previous 3 months of working, but it was just a good opportunity to catch up with some of them. So that was good. Being, you know, living where I do, it is quite beautiful countryside around here, and I've never been an outdoor runner in my life, and I have taken up running since the gym closed, and I've enjoyed it a lot more than I expected. So that's been an unexpected bonus.
Are you going to take that forward? Are you going to continue with the running?
I'm certainly going to try. Going back to the gym tonight, that's my first trip back to the gym, but I think I will use that for other things and try and keep the outdoor running going as long as I can.
And do you have the confidence to go back to the gym? I know a lot of people are nervous, but I think I just want to get back there. And
I think so. I go to quite a small gym, and it's all kind of timetabled so that they only have a certain number of people each slot, and actually looking at it, it looks as if it will be a very small number. So we'll go along tonight and see what it's like. See if I can remember what to do.
We'll look out for you, hopefully running some marathons in the next few months.
I don't think we should get carried away.
Oh no, great. Has there been? We've asked lots of the guests that have come on about recommendations that they have in terms of if they've discovered or rediscovered any new Netflix series or documentaries, films, books, podcasts, whatever it might be that they've had the time to engage with so much more during the last few months.
I think I've done all the sort of usual Netflix of sort of Tiger King and all that sort of stuff early on.
Who didn't?
And also, I was reading the new Hilary Mantel novel at the start of lockdown, so that at least gave me plenty of time to work through the 850 pages or whatever there was in that. I listen to a lot of podcasts as I'm running, and actually my mug is, I can't say it, it's from a podcast called For the Many, which is a political podcast with Conservative commentator Ian Dale and former Labour Home Secretary Jackie Smith. And it's quite good because they actually discuss a lot of political issues, Brexit, and obviously what we're all going through at the moment. And they come at it from different perspectives. It's quite refreshing to hear two people that can talk about it from different perspectives without trashing each other, or, you know, they respect each other's points of view, and they do it in a very light-hearted and entertaining way. So I've enjoyed listening to that over the last few weeks, and
that's
really around the country lanes.
To have the light-hearted element to it and honest discussions that don't get too heated. Oh, interesting that you listen to them when you're running. I don't think I could do that. I'd just be I'd just be focusing on how slow I'm going or anything. So is it a nice welcome distraction?
Yeah, I think it just passes the time a bit more and takes your focus away from the Strava lady telling you how much or how little you've done so far.
I definitely turn mine on mute, definitely. Oh, amazing. Oh, well, I'll have to check that podcast out. So thank you for sharing that. And my very final question for you that we ask everybody is, who would you like to nominate to come on a future episode of Positivity? Someone that's positive in your life, or you think will help encourage others to be positive during these difficult times?
I think I would nominate someone called Nikki Larkin, who's an accountant that we do a lot of work with, who I've spoken to quite a lot through lockdown, and I think she's been taking a very similar approach to me. And I got her into that podcast, actually. That's why she's come to mind, and she seems to have almost taken it over. She's getting questions read out on the podcast and all sorts of things. So she can probably explain to you better than I can why she enjoys it as well.
Yeah. Oh no! Oh, brilliant! I will look forward to speaking to her. So, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And yeah, good luck with everything, and we hope to be able to meet face to face when all this craziness is over.
That would be good.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.